Hello friends, greetings of the day. Hope you all are fine. Nowadays, you might be enjoying with your parents because it's lockdown period. Based on the demands and requests made by the students and parents, we are pleased and we glad to start our e-learning platform video classes. Hope you people will all enjoy. The second part is you may get doubts. Hope will take all you to the root level so that generally doubts won't arise. Still, if in or during video classes you are having any problem, you can free to ask me in WhatsApp or text message. Commerce Palito Accountancy, and in the last year, I mean plus two first year, we had a great discussion, precise coverage of all chapters. Now, let us go for the other parts of accounting. Students, one thing you remember, when we started accounting, we had a conclusion that accounting is nothing but a service function. It renders some services, and basically the services are back office services. Accounting do not directly deal with customers, employees, managers, etc. It is a function kept behind the organization. The basic purpose, basic objectives of accounting involves exactly two. After rendering business processes during a particular period, what we got, whether we got profit or we suffered loss, and at the end of a particular period, what the business owns and what the business owes. Determination of profit or loss and showing the assets of the business and liabilities of the business. These are the two basic purposes for which financial accounting was basically developed. To render these two main functions, objectives of accounting, at the end of a particular period, two statements are prepared. Remember, two statements are prepared. One is to calculate profit or loss, how much profit the business has earned during a particular period. If not profit, then how much loss it has suffered. Number one. Number two, at the end of a particular period, what the business owns and what the business owes. The same can be reflected by preparing a statement. The profit loss calculation can be prepared by preparing a statement. Two statements are prepared at the end of each particular period. These are the two basic purposes for which financial accounting is basically developed. To render these two functions, to prepare these two statements, accounting has to perform these processes which we had discussed in plus two first year. There are basically 8 processes of accounting. The first process is identification of transactions. Friends, you know what is transaction. The happenings, the day-to-day happenings of a business are called transactions. But all transactions are not useful for accounting. Accounting do not consider all happenings, all transactions, events of the business. It considers only, you know, but only financial transactions. Transactions are of two types: financial, non-financial. It considers, accounting considers only financial transactions and ignores all non-financial transactions. Quarrels between the staff members. Anything happened in a business but do not affect the assets and liabilities financially. They are non-financial transactions and events. They are simply ignored. Only financial transactions are considered for accounting purposes. Right? The second process is the amount of cash or money involved in the transaction, that is called money measurement. You see, goods sold for cash. Unless otherwise you know the amount of sales, you cannot do anything. So we need the amount of sales, the amount involved in purchase of goods, how much you have paid as wages, how much rent you earned, how much discount you earned, how much you incurred for purchase of an asset. The amount involved in the transaction, it need to be identified. First is identification of financial transaction, and second process is the amount of cash or money involved in the transaction. Then a real process starts. The transaction need to be recorded. That is called recording. Where to record? Small business house, recording is done in journal. But in case of large business houses, alternatives are available. We know the basic idea. Where subsidiary books. Again, remember, journal, subsidiary book, both are meant for recording the transaction. Clear? Small business house having very small or low size of transactions, they need to record the transactions in journal. But in case of big business house where heavy transactions occurs, they usually record their transactions in subsidiary books. Both are book of prime entry, both are meant for recording the transaction. After recording is over, the next work is classification, where in a separate book called ledger. This ledger is common for all small as well as large business houses. Journal followed by ledger, subsidiary books also followed by ledger. Ledger is common for all. Okay, in the last year, plus to first year, we had a coverage about these 4 steps or processes only. And these 4 processes are the basics, the lower part of accounting, which is popularly known as, can you guess it? It is popularly known as, exactly, bookkeeping. Part of accounting. Bookkeeping is part of accounting. It is not outside accounting. It is part of accounting. It is lower part of accounting, and generally, basically done by junior accountants who are called as bookkeepers. Part of accounting. After the 4th process is over, the main part of accounting starts. And in second year, we'll cover all those remaining steps of accounting. Okay, let us start. Summarization. This is the real process of accounting. Generally, these processes are done by senior accountants, the real accountants. Okay, start. Summarization is nothing but preparation of summary statements of all the transactions occurred during a particular period, and that is done by preparing final accounts. The summarization is called preparation of final accounts, and this final accounts preparation is called preparation of these two statements. Very nice. The basic object, the end object, the main object of accounting is preparation of two statements. Preparation of two statements. One is for calculation of profit or loss. The other is to show the amount of assets owned by the business, the amount of liabilities owed by the business. Okay. Preparation of these two statements is called preparation of final accounts, which is the fifth step of or fifth process of accounting processes, which is called as summarization. Right? Very interesting. How to prepare these statements? To prepare the final accounts, I mean to say, to prepare these two statements, we need some data. We have to put information in the statements. The statement which is prepared to do this object is called profit and loss account or income statement. Remember, a statement is prepared at the end of a particular period to calculate profit or loss. Such a statement is called profit and loss account or income statement. Right? This is the first statement. And the second statement is called balance sheet or position statement. Balance sheet or position statement. Balance sheet or position statement is a statement which is prepared to show, to exhibit at the end of a particular period what the business owns, that is assets, and what the business owes, that is liabilities. Next, before that, the statement prepared is called profit and loss account or income statement, and this statement is basically prepared to calculate the profit or loss. To prepare these two statements, we need information, and the informations are available in the shape of trial balance. After classification is over, the balances of all the ledger accounts are put into a statement which is basically prepared to check the arithmetical accuracy. Okay, and this statement will contain of two columns for the amounts debit and credit. Finally, the two statements will get agree. Agree of these two statements is an evidence that there is a debit for every credit and there is a debit for a credit for every debit. From the trial balance information, with the help of information supplied with the trial balance, we proceed to prepare profit and loss account or income statement, then balance sheet or position statements. Achha. The basic problem which like with every student that, sir, which information will take to profit and loss account and which information will take to balance sheet. This is the basic question arises in the mind of every student. Its solution is very simple. Solution or answer is very simple. Before preparation with these two statements and after preparation of trial balance, we must have to know some basic idea of bifurcation, that is division of the informations into PL account, profit and loss account and balance sheet. Let us proceed with that particular knowledge. My question, how to segregate trial balance informations into informations of profit and loss account and informations of balance sheet. For that reason, we have to acquire a particular knowledge, that is knowledge about capital and revenue. Without this knowledge, no one can proceed with well preparation, correct preparation of profit and loss account and balance sheet. One have to acquire sufficient, that to perfect knowledge about the concept capital and revenue. Friends, you know what is capital and what is revenue. You just remember the second concept, going concern concept. The accounting concept, going concern, particularly says that items or transactions occurred in a business house must be divided into capital and revenue. Accordingly, all items of a business, all the items of transactions of a business are divided into capital and revenue. And as per rule, items of capital nature will go to balance sheet, which is popularly known as position statement. And items of revenue nature will go to profit and loss account, popularly known as income statement. Now the question is, sir, what is capital? Simple. Capital is nothing but, as the definition says, the amount of money or money's worth involved or invested by the owner into his business. Money or money's worth may be in the shape of cash, may be in the shape of properties. If anything is invested by the owner into his business, it is called capital. And the return from the business against the capital involved or invested is called revenue. Basically, capital means amount invested in the business and revenue means the return from the amount of capital invested, right? It is compared with a tree and the revenue is compared with the fruits of a tree. The tree, which is long lasting, which is kept for long period, and in every time or season it gives us fruits, that is revenue. Revenue is compared with fruits and the capital is compared with the tree. It is the tree which gives us fruits. If the tree is tended with good care, if we will take good care of the tree, definitely it will give us good result or good revenue or good number of fruits. And the fruit which gives birth to another tree, right? I mean to say, this revenue increases this capital. I had invested 1 lakh in my business. After 1 year, I got 15,000 profit. Out of 15,000 profit, 5,000 I took to my home privately and 10,000 reinvested in the business. I left 10,000 with the business. As a result, my capital became 1,10,000. Might have understand. My investment in the business was 1 lakh. After 1 year, I got 15,000 profit, which belongs slowly to me. But what I did, I took only 5,000 for my personal expenses, and the remaining 10,000 I left with the business. Previously, I had invested 1 lakh. Now I invested further, invested 10,000 in the business from my profit, from my share, from my income. As a result, my capital became 1,10,000. Likewise, this capital increases. And the reason of increasing the capital is revenue, that is profit. Profit 10,000 added to capital, the capital 1 lakh became 1,10,000. Okay. These are the basic terms of capital and revenue. In a business house, the transactions are of expenditure, receipts, profits, losses. Capital, revenue. Capital, revenue. Capital, revenue. Capital, revenue. Each expenditure has, or an expenditure could be either capital or revenue. Likewise, a receipt could be capital or revenue. A profit may be capital or revenue. Similarly, if a loss has occurred, it could be capital or revenue. Capital expenditure or revenue expenditure. Capital receipt or revenue receipt. Capital profit or revenue profit. Similarly, capital loss or revenue loss. All the items could be of either capital or revenue. Items of capital in nature will go to balance sheet. Items of revenue nature will go to profit and loss account. Don't worry, we'll get further. We'll acquire much more knowledge about capital and revenue. Don't worry. Just remember, all items in the nature of capital, expenditure in the nature of capital will go to balance sheet. Receipt in the nature of capital will go to balance sheet. Profit in the nature of capital will go to balance sheet. Loss in the nature of capital will go to balance sheet. Okay? Likewise, all items which are in the nature of revenue will form part of income statement or profit and loss account. Capital expenditure will not go there, revenue expenditure will not come here. Okay? This can never be possible. So, before preparing final accounts, before preparing balance sheet, before preparing profit and loss account, we should have sufficient knowledge, adequate knowledge, perfect knowledge about capital and revenue. Otherwise, the statements prepared by us, by me, or by you may mislead, may give us false information. To render the correct service, to render perfect preparation of financial statement, we have to acquire good knowledge about capital and revenue. Okay? Again, recall, transactions occurred in a business could be of expenditure in nature, receipt in nature, profit in nature, or loss in nature. Okay? Each one will have two types. It could be either capital or revenue. Similarly, receipt could be of capital or revenue. Profits could be of capital or revenue. And finally, losses could be of capital or revenue. And all capitalized items, all items belonging to capital nature will go to balance sheet. All items relating to revenue nature will go to profit and loss account. Okay, let us proceed with expenditure category. What is expenditure and how to divide the expenditure into capital or revenue? Okay, proceed, start. If you are having doubts, please ask me in WhatsApp or by sending text messages. Definitely I will reply. Expenditure. Every business house, every professional, every person engaged in vocation need to incur expenditure. That is, money incurred to derive revenue. Without incurrence, without expending, without paying, you cannot obtain any revenue. Okay, to obtain revenue, to derive revenue, you must have to incur something. That incurrence, that payment is called expenditure. Sir, we are in confusion. We may say it is expense also. Yes, expense. See, you paid something, amount paid for getting some benefit. This may be expenditure or expense. Both are same. If the benefit available, remember, if the benefit available against the amount paid is for 1 year, within 1 year, you may say the amount paid as expense. Right? You paid something, against that payment, you will derive benefit for a period within 12 months. You may say the amount paid as expense. If benefit available extends more than 1 year against the amount paid, you paid something, but the benefit you will enjoy more than 1 year, then such amount paid will be categorized as expenditure. Expense, expenditure, both are same. It's narrow concept, it's wider concept. Both are against amount paid. Expense is amount paid, expenditure is amount paid. Here you derive benefit only for or within 1 year. Here you derive benefit extending more than 1 year. That is why this is called expense, expenditure. Suppose you paid 5,000 rupees. Out of this 5,000 rupees, you will enjoy benefit of 3,000 rupees during this year and 2,000 rupees benefit in the next year. This 5,000 is called expenditure and this 3,000 is called expense. Okay, expense is part of this expenditure. Expense is narrow, expenditure is wider concept. The amount paid may be expense, may be expenditure. If you say expenditure, it's right, even if it relate to 1 year. But if you say expense, you may be wrong, because if the amount paid relate to more than 1 year, then it will be called as expenditure, and the answer is you said is expense, you may be wrong. So better call all amount paid as expenditure better. If part of the expenditure related to current year or the running year, or the amount related to enter amount is related to current year, it may be expense but says expenditure. Clear? So expenditure is nothing but amount paid for getting some benefit. If the benefit is for 1 year, revenue expenditure. Very simple. Paid something, benefit derived. If benefit related to only 1 year, the expenditure is called revenue expenditure. If the benefit extends to more than 1 year, then such an expenditure will be called as capital expenditure. Right? Very simple. Sir, how to classify expenditure into capital and revenue? Very simple. Sir, if benefit of such expenditure is only for 1 year, then it is revenue expenditure. If you will derive benefit for more than 1 year, it is capital expenditure. I paid salary. Expenditure. I paid something for machine. Expenditure. This salary is for 1 month. This machine is for more than 1 year. Easily you can now classify. Since it is for 1 month, it is called revenue expenditure. 1 month means within 1 year. More than 1 year means extending 1 year. So it is called as capital expenditure. Clear? Again, let me describe it fully. Just go through your notes. Open your copy where you have written the detailed theory about capital and revenue. Be quick. Just turn to first page. Look at the question. The question is meaning of capital expenditure and revenue expenditure with suitable examples and the real distinction between the two. See friends, capital expenditure is defined very easily. It is the money spent on buying of fixed assets. Fixed assets means assets which are held by business for generating revenue and not meant for resale. We purchase goods for resale. So it is asset but not fixed asset. Goods is asset but not fixed asset. It is current asset. It is meant for sale. Usually in the cycle of business, its shape is changed. But if you take examples of building, machine, furniture, these are held in a business, not for sale. Rather, computer, In a business house, these assets are held for the purpose of generating revenue and not for resale. So, if building is purchased, if machine is purchased, if furniture is purchased, if computer is purchased, if a printer is purchased, then the expenditure incurred is called capital expenditure. Okay? Expenditure incurred in acquisition of fixed assets. Amount paid, amount incurred for purchasing fixed assets. You have purchased land, you purchased building, you purchased machine, you purchased computer, then the amount of expenditure incurred is called capital expenditure. And what others are adding to their values. Already you have a building. It is having single floor and another floor is constructed. This is addition to value. You have a machine whose capacity is 1000 units of production per day. A part is added to the machine which increases that to 1500 units per day. After incurring some expenditure, after putting some money, by making updation of the machine, the capacity of the machine increased from 1000 to 1500 units per day. This is called addition of value to the existing asset. So, expenses incurred to convert the single floor building into multi-floor. Expenses incurred to converting the capacity of machine from 1000 units to 1500 units per day are called capital expenditure, right? These assets are expected to provide benefits to the business for more than one accounting period. Examples of capital expenditures are purchase of land and building, purchase of machine, extension to existing machine or building, etc. The expenses incurred for converting the capacity of a machine from producing 1000 units per day to 1500 units per day is categorized as capital expenditure, and such capital expenditure is reflected, that is shown, that is put in the balance sheet, not profit and loss account. Clear? Go for the features of capital expenditure. We incurred capital expenditure by chance. That is why the nature feature of capital expenditure is non-recurring. Non-recurring means non-repetitive, means happens by chance. Every month, every year, every day we won't incur expenses for converting capacity of machine, for converting the building area, right? Second is the expenses incurred in acquiring fixed asset, addition to fixed assets, etc. is large. Generally the amount involved is large. We put heavy amount. And thirdly, benefit of this expenditure is available for more than 1 year. These are the three basic features of capital expenditure. Again repeat. Capital expenditure amount is generally large. Benefit of capital expenditure is available for more than 1 year, and the nature of capital expenditure is non-recurring. Non-recurring means non-repetitive, means it occurs by chance. Okay. Next, go for revenue expenditure. Simple. Revenue expenses or expenditures. Generally capital expenditure is expenditure, but we say revenue expenditures are in the nature of expense because they have the life of more less than 1 year or within 1 year. That is why a revenue expenditure may be called as revenue expense. The expense incurred to run the day-to-day activities of the business. We purchase goods, we pay salary, we pay rent, we pay for advertisement, we pay for stationery, we pay for printings, telephone rent, etc., daily wages, carriage for bringing and selling the goods, freight for bringing and selling the goods. They all are expenses which are in the nature of day-to-day expenses. Generally, day-to-day expenses of a business are called revenue expenses, and benefits of the revenue expenses are available for a short period within 1 year. It won't exceed more than 1 year. Clear? Go through the definition. A revenue expenditure is incurred to carry on the normal course of business and to maintain the fixed assets in good condition. Two things: expenses in the day-to-day life of business. Second is expenses to keep the fixed assets in good condition. See friends, you have building, you have to maintain the building. Every year you used to make some repairs. Every year you have to put whitewashing, you have to make whitewashing. In case of machine, you have to carry out day-to-day repair, otherwise the machine will not run properly, it will not give us good result. The expenses incurred for repairing and maintaining the fixed assets in good conditions are called revenue expenses, and others are expenses in the nature of day-to-day business activities. As I told, purchase of goods, payment of carriage, payment of wages, payment of salary, payment of rent, payment for advertisement, etc. They all are expenses in the day-to-day life of business. And second one, what I said, expenses incurred to keep the fixed assets in good condition. It includes generally repairs, depreciation, maintenance, insurance, etc. Okay, these are called revenue expenses, and all these expenses will go to profit and loss account, income statement, right? Capital expenditure will go to balance sheet, and revenue expenses will go to profit and loss account, right? Good. Let us discuss the features of revenue expenditure. As I told, in case of capital expenditure we incurred by chance, not regularly. That is why nature of capital expenditure is non-recurring, but revenue expenses are always recurring, because every month we pay salary, every time we pay for goods purchased, every month we pay rent. Whenever we purchase goods, we pay for carriage and freight. Yes or no? That is why revenue expenses are in the nature of recurring. Recurring means repetitive. Then the second is, generally amount involved in revenue expenditure is small. See, payment of rent, payment of wages, as compared to payment against building and land or machine, obviously low. So revenue expenditure amount involved is low as compared to capital expenditure. First feature is revenue expenses are recurring. The second one is amount involved in the revenue expenditure is relatively small. And third one is benefits of revenue expenditures extends within 1 year. You won't derive more than 1 year benefits. Its benefit is for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, and hardly 1 year. Right? Good. Now, remember all things, and it's the time to distinguish between the two. How capital expenditure differs from revenue expenditure. Listen very carefully. Go through your notes. The first point is capital expenditure is the outflow of money to acquire fixed assets. The expenditure is for acquiring fixed asset, but revenue expenditure is incurred for maintain the business, that is to meet the day-to-day expenses. Capital expenditure is, see, expenses are debit balance. As per nominal account, expenses are debit balance. When an expenditure is incurred, it is debited. The expenditure is debited. For capital expenditure, we debit to an asset account. For revenue expenditure, we debit to an expense account. Asset account, expense account. Capital expenditure is debited to asset account. Revenue expenditure is debited to an expense account. Purchased building expenditure, building account debit to cash account or bank account. Paid for salary, salary account debited to cash or bank account. The credit remains same as it is, either cash or bank. But in case of debit, capital expenditure go to an asset account, whereas revenue expenditure is debited to an expense account. Third, as I told earlier, capital account always classified and taken to balance sheet, whereas revenue expenditure is always taken to profit and loss account. Fourth one, capital expenditure is incurred for more than one accounting year. Its benefit is available for more than 1 year, whereas benefit of revenue account is available only for benefit of capital expenditure is available for more than 1 year, and benefit of revenue expenditure is available for 1 year. The nature of capital expenditure is non-recurring, and nature of revenue expenditure is recurring. Non-recurring means non-repetitive, recurring means repetitive, occurs always. Sixth point is important, just remember, and all capital expenditure evenly becomes revenue expenditure. If you purchased a machine for 10,000 rupees, it's capital expenditure. Purchased machine for 10,000 rupees, it's capital expenditure. This capital expenditure gradually becomes revenue expenditure. How? See, suppose the machine has 5 years life. We generally divide the value of machine by 5, and the remainder 2000, that is every year value of machine decreases by 2000. First year we deduct 2000 rupees. Second year again we deduct 2000 rupees. Third year again we deduct 2000 rupees. This deduction of 2000 rupees is our expense or loss. Because of use of the machine in generating revenue, the machine loses its value by 2000 each year. This 2000 is expense of current year. This is expense of next year. This is expense of next year. Okay. This capital expense of 1 year, next year, current year, next year, next year. This 2000 is expense of each year. So entire capital expenditure of 10,000 is converted into 2000 expense of each year. I mean to say, this 10,000 capital expenditure is first converted into 2000 is revenue expenditure, then again 2000 revenue expenditure, then again 2000 revenue expenditure, and this is called in English depreciation, in our accounting term depreciation. Machine is depreciated. Machine is depreciated. Capital expenditure became revenue expenditure. But in no case a revenue expenditure will become capital expenditure. Okay. 7th point. A capital expenditure does not affect profitability of accounting period. Again, profit loss account, balance sheet, two separate statements. Revenue items will come here, capitalized item will come here. Here we calculate profit or loss, where we do not consider any capitalized items because capitalized items are available here only. So capital expenditure do not affect here. Capital expenditure directly comes here, right? But a revenue expenditure directly affects the profitability. Obviously, here we will calculate profitability, profit or loss. If revenue expenditure is incurred, that will come here, and obviously that will decrease our profit. Capital expenditure will not increase or decrease our profit or loss. However, revenue expenditure, if occurs, definitely will decrease our profit or increases our loss. Number 8. It may be incurred before or after the commencement of a business. Capital expenditure. See, remember, put attention. Business, it started on 10th February 2020. A business started on 10th February 2020. Definitely, obviously, before this date, expenses had been incurred for doing a contract, for getting registration, for all reasons, making showcase, or you have employed some employees before this date and you have paid salary. All expenses before that date, all expenses. What I said? All, small, big, capital nature, revenue nature, all expenses incurred before that date, all are in the nature of capital. Clear? Salary paid, even salary paid, rent paid before this date are in the nature of capital. We'll divide, we'll bifurcate the expenses as capital and revenue after this date only. Before this date, if any expenditure incurred, it is in the nature of capital expenditure. Remember one thing. We'll divide the expenses as capital and revenue only after starting commencement of the business. So, machine purchased after this date, capital. Machine purchased before this date, capital expenditure. Salary paid before this date, capital expenditure. Salary paid after this date, revenue expenditure. Revenue expenditure occurs only after commencement of business, but capital expenditure occurs even before of commencement of business. Clear? Last, capital expenditure of small value is treated as revenue expenditure. Exactly. We purchased rubber seal as goods delivered or amount paid, etc. Cost of the rubber stamp or rubber seal is only 20-30 rupees, and it may last long for 3, 4, 5 years. You paid 20 rupees whose benefit is for 5 years. Obviously 20 rupees capital expenditure. But generally what we say, what we treat, since the amount involved is very low, 20 rupees, 10 rupees, 30 rupees, we may treat it as a revenue expenditure. And treatment of such expenditure is revenue is correct. But revenue expenditure, small revenue expenditure, even big also revenue expenditure. Amount involved large revenue expenditure, amount involved small revenue expenditure. But in case of capital expenditure, if amount involved is small, then rather the capital expenditure will be treated as revenue expenditure. Okay, just go through it, read it again, and in the next class let us solve the bit questions regarding capital revenue and capital expenditure and revenue expenditure. Okay, thank you friends, bye bye.